Time to get healthy with Shana, and today we're working on strength for independence and balance. So let's start with a warm-up, and we'll move into some strength training activity. We're going to come up to standing to get warmed up, but of course, as always, you can stay seated as Gina will do today. So let's get up to standing. Coming up into our nice tall posture, let's start with the feet hip to shoulder width apart and soften these knees. Let's lengthen our spine, roll the shoulders back and down, and back the ears up right over your shoulders. Take a moment just to absorb this tall standing posture or tall seated posture. I want you to absorb how it feels so that when you're not watching, you'll remember how to find your posture. Let's go ahead and add some movement. Now look over your right shoulder, nice and easy. Little neck stretch here, and let's come back to center, and now look to the left. And come back to center. Let's do that again. Looking right and center, and now looking left and back to center. Let's change the stretch a little bit by bringing our right ear to our right shoulder, and now come back up. Let's bring left ear to left shoulder, and then come back up. Let's do that once more on each side. Gentle warm up here. Not pushing too far, and coming right back up to where we started. Let's lift our shoulders up to our ears and then lower them back down. A lift and a lower. Add some breathing to this fluid motion. Maybe an inhale as you lift and an exhale as you lower. Just finding a steady pace of breath. And by steadying our pace with our breathing, it helps us to keep us at a slow pace with our motion. Let's do one more, and then release the arms back down. Let's go to the back of the upper body. So I'd like for you to take your shoulder blades and squeeze them together, and then release. And squeeze, and release. Good. You've got a tennis ball between those shoulder blades. I want you to squeeze it tight. Arms will follow right along. Big squeeze and release. Feel the muscles in the chest stretch and open. Here's our last one. And then release. Now let's find a good postural place to be with those shoulder blades. So gently draw them back and down. So we have a little tiny squeeze. So we're not squeezing real tight, we're not rounding, we're right in the center, feeling tall, proud, and confident. Let's move into the arms a little bit further by lifting these arms out to the front. Knuckles lead the way, and now lower back down. Lifting forward and lowering down. Making this motion small to start, and as we progress, you can make it a little bit larger. Always staying in your pain-free range, and this warm-up should actually feel good. We aren't challenging the muscles right now. We're not pushing anywhere we don't belong. We're just gently warming up each joint as we move through the body. Let's go ahead and bring these arms back down to our sides. Give your shoulders a little shake. Let's turn the palms so they're facing up. And now bend your elbows, bringing your palms towards your shoulders, and let's straighten the arms, palms down. Let's bend and extend. So notice our elbows are staying glued to our sides as we just bend them. Aiming the palms towards the shoulders. We'll do this again later with resistance. It'll be a little bit more challenging, so I want you to get a good feel of it right now. Let's find that breath again. So match the breath up with the motion. Let's do one more. I'd like for you to bring these arms up. Now turn your palms around. Let's get a little lift. Staying right with that small motion first. Noting any modifications that you need to make. If your shoulders need to stay low, keep them low. If you're able to come up higher, go ahead and do that. Great. Let's do one more. And now let's bring these arms back down. Let's give them a little shake. Let's do another shoulder rotation. So I'd like to roll the knuckles towards each other and now roll the palms back. So we roll forward, we open and roll back. Nice and smooth. Still a relatively small motion. Feeling the shoulders roll about in the joint. Still still fluid breath. Let's do a couple more. And here's our last one. Let's bring these arms right back, down to our sides, right back into our nice tall posture. Shoulder blades are still engaged. Let's go down into the belly. Let's take this belly muscle and squeeze it nice and tight and release. Squeeze tight and release. I'm going to place my hands here so you can see the motion of the belly as I draw in and as I release. So remember, the belly's doing the work. My hands are not pushing, just so you can see the movement here. Let's do a couple more. Remember, this was the muscle that we talked about before that not a lot of people are aware of, but it's really important to protect our spine. Let's go ahead and relax that belly a bit. Move a little bit farther down into the muscles that we sit on. I'd like for you to squeeze them tight and then release them. Squeeze and then release and squeeze and release. So we're squeezing our leg muscles, the ones that we sit on. Always remember, these muscles are part of your legs. Now see if you can keep your knees soft as you're doing the squeezing. That's a little more of a challenge. Let's do one more and then release. We're going to move down into the ankles. So let's tap out a toe, one set of toes at a time. Just a little reach, a little stretch of the front leg, a little stretch to the shin and the ankle. You can add arms if you want to. Now I'm going to add on here a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of power with you. So I want you to imagine that there's a bug on the floor in front of you. I want you to smash it. Smash it. A little power. Great. Find your strength and smash those bugs. There's a whole bunch of them and they're ugly. Here's our last two. Good. Now just march in place. When was the last time you used some power like that in your legs? It's great to practice power. So we're keeping our marches pretty low. Gina's keeping her marches pretty low too. So remember your safety precautions. If you have a hip replacement and you're marching, you're sitting in a chair, those knees need to stay below hip level. Now from here, add a little kick, a little leg extension. So we're just straightening the knee, lifting and straightening. Gina's got the same activity going on as she sits in the chair that we're doing standing. So always remember, you can do these same things sitting or standing. Here's your last one. Let's go ahead and bring these feet back down. Let's finish with out, out, in, and we should be warmed up. So bring one leg out, other leg out, first leg in, second leg in. It's all about the hips. Out, in, out, in. Now let's work our brains too. Lynn's ready to go, so add an arm. Good. Out, in, out, in. You've got it. Last one. And then come right back into your good standing posture. See if you can remember that checklist. Feet, knees, spine, shoulders, ears. Standing tall, standing proud. But now we're going to sit. So we're going to go right into our two-armed row. So have a seat. If you've got some equipment to use for resistance, get that now, whether it's a set of light hand weights or an exertube, or if you need more information on where to get equipment, please give me a call. It's 743-5300. You can reach me there and I can give you some more guidance on classes or equipment. Our two-armed row, that's our postural exercise. So let's go right back to our tall spine. Sitting tall, string in the top of the head pulling us up. We've got our shoulders back and down. Let's go ahead and take a breath in. On our exhale, we're going to squeeze these shoulder blades together. Inhale, release the shoulder blades. Exhale, squeeze tight. Inhale to release. Now notice as we release, we're not rounding our back. We're just merely letting go of the shoulder blades. We'll go for about 12 repetitions here, but do what you can. If you're able to do 6, do 6. If you're able to do 8, then do 8. And if you start to notice that, well, gosh, I could do more, but I can't keep my posture tall, I've got to take a break, then that's what you need to do. Come back when you can do another one, keeping your spine tall. We've just got 3 left, so give me a big exhale as you squeeze those shoulder blades. Inhale to release. Now I'm going to add on. I want you to squeeze your shoulder blades, squeeze your belly. Inhale and release. Here's your last one. Squeeze your shoulder blades, squeeze your belly, and release. So we added that deep abdominal muscle, that transversus abdominis. We'll add that throughout our class today. Let's put our equipment to the side. We're going to move right into our sit to stand. We'll start from our seated position. We'll gradually work our way to standing. So stand as you're able to. Hands on the thighs can give you some support. You can use them or just sit them there. Let's go ahead and take a breath in. On your exhale, let's rock into these feet. Come up to standing and then lower back down. Let's push into the feet, come up to standing, and release. Remember these big leg muscles, squeeze them, make them work. If you don't do that, then all of your weight load goes on the front of your thighs, it goes on your knees, and then it overstresses the knees. I hear that all the time. Well, that's hard for me, it hurts my knees. Now, if you've got a knee injury or a knee replacement or something that's really aggravated by that, then do what you can, take a break as you need to, but remember to squeeze these muscles. That's what they're there for. They're not for sitting on. They're for working, for squeezing, for lifting us up. Now you can go slower than we're going to, but don't go any faster. Here's your last two. One more to go. This is a big exercise, I know. Great job. Let's release back down. All right, we've got another big one. It's our overhead press. We're going to do this one from our chair too. So if you've got equipment, let's get it now. Now we've got these exertubes and we're going to actually sit on them. I don't want you to stand on them for this exercise, so put it underneath you. Safety precaution on this one. If you have any low back injury, if you have narrowing of the spine, spinal stenosis, if you have osteoporosis in your spine and a severe curvature, then I need you to put your equipment down. Don't use any equipment at all, but you can go through the motion. We've got a loose overhanded grip. Now I'd like for you to go right back to that spine and lift it tall. That string is pulling you through the top of your head, and we've got a loose grip on your equipment. Let's inhale. Now exhale, we'll start small, lifting up. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale to lower. Now again, we're just going up to meet the resistance, and then we're lowering back down. So notice nobody's straightening their arms up. Let's sit here with me. We've all got bent elbows. We're not forcing this resistance somewhere it doesn't belong. We're not pushing ourselves somewhere we don't belong by changing our posture. I want you to make sure that your spine is still lifted here. If you're having a hard time keeping your spine tall, then put your equipment down. Do this without the equipment. Now for these last few, I want you to add belly to spine. So squeeze that belly, inhale and release. Exhale, squeeze your belly firm, protect your back here. Inhale to release. So anytime you're lifting, pushing, or pulling, whether it be with me, with us, or at home, squeeze that belly to your spine. Protect your back that way. Here's our last one. And let's release. That's a big exercise. That's the toughest one for me. Let's get a stretch. So just let go of your equipment, put it on the floor, get it out of your way. Let's go ahead and bring both arms out to the front, lace your fingers or put them together. Now keeping your shoulders out of your ears, just pull those shoulder blades apart. Bring your chin towards your chest. Let's take a deep breath. As you exhale, let those shoulder muscles, the back muscles relax and release. Let's take one more breath here. And then exhale, releasing. Lifting the chin back where it belongs, pull those shoulder blades together and bring the arms to the sides. Let's stretch our legs. So come towards the end of your chair. Let's extend our right heel to the floor, leg is straight. We're still sitting nice and tall. We're staying upright with a hip replacement. Please remember that safety precaution. If you want to feel the stretch more, if you're not feeling it yet, it's a tiny little hinge at the hip. We're going slow, leading with the chest, kind of like we're bowing forward. Now, if you feel plenty stretch when you're sitting tall, then just stay sitting tall. And breathe. You can maintain what you have, and that's really important. Now, we're going to come back up to sitting, so hinge at the hips here. Let's come back up, sitting tall. Let's bring our right foot in, left foot out, heel to the floor. Leg is straight, sitting tall. Remember your safety precaution. Stay right here if you wish, if you feel that stretch, or start to come forward. Moving slowly. Remember, this will give you plenty of time to back out of the stretch if it's too much for you. Let's take a big breath. Exhale, relax those hamstring muscles. On your next inhale, let's come back up, sitting tall. And let's walk this foot in. Let's stretch our chest, our postural stretch. So bring your arms around behind. You can hold on to your chair or lace your fingers. Roll those shoulder blades together. Breathe deeply. We've got our lungs open here. We're opening our posture. You know what happens when our spine starts rounding, these muscles all get tight in the front of the body. And when those muscles are tight, it starts pulling us forward. So this stretch opens all of that up. It really is a postural stretch. Give me a deep breath. And then exhale, let's release these arms to our sides. Let's move on to a couple of arm exercises, again, sitting or standing. Gina will stay seated for you. And Susan and Lynn and Clay and I will stand up. We're going to do our bicep curl. So with the exer tube, it goes under the feet. With hand weights, you hold them loosely at your sides. Arms are long. Let's go ahead and shrug those shoulders back. Let's find our tall spine, soft knees, inhale. Now exhale, bending the elbows. Inhale, lower back down. Exhale to bend. Inhale to extend. So our palms are facing up, knuckles are facing the floor. Check on your knees as you move through this motion. It's easier to keep them soft as we lift forward than it was when we moved the extra tube behind us. Are you feeling strong? You look strong. Now let's add belly to spine again. So we're lifting, right? We're doing a lifting motion. So on your exhale, squeeze that belly tight as you're exerting force. Inhale and release. Exhale, squeeze the belly. Inhale to release. Last one. And let's release back down. All right, we're going to do a new one called bow and arrow. This is for the backs of the arms. People ask me about that all the time. What can I do for the backs of my arms? Well, a lot of times it's a vanity thing that people ask me that question about, but it's also important for function. So this is our bow and arrow. We've got our handles in our left hand. We've got our tube in our right hand. I want you to roll those shoulders back and down so they're stabilized. We're still sitting or standing tall. We're going to move the elbow with the handles in the hand. So let's start with an inhale. Now exhale, I want you to straighten your left arm. Inhale, bend your left arm. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Now for me, it's real easy for me to hunch these shoulders up. They really want to do that. But I don't want to do that because that's not good. That's not good for my posture. It's not good for my muscles or my neck, my shoulders. So if you find yourself hunching those shoulders up as you're moving, rest them down. If you need to take a break from this exercise, go ahead and do that. Let's add belly to spine. Exhale, squeeze the belly. You're almost there. Exhale, squeeze the belly. And let's release. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So put your handles in your right hand. Let's hold on to the tube with the left. We've got both elbows bent. Gina's got her hand weights right in front of her with her bent elbows. Let's inhale again. Exhale, straighten right elbow. Inhale, bend. Now remember, elbows are at shoulder level or below, so nobody's hiked up here again. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Feel the back of your arm, your tricep. That's great. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Now, one of my class leaders said this is not the motion of a bow and arrow. He said this is a motion of a slingshot. So we can call it slingshot. It's okay. It's all good. Remember those shoulders, keep them out of your ears. Let's add belly to spine. Squeeze that belly. Inhale and release. Let's do just one more. Squeeze the belly and inhale to release. That's a big one. Let's put this tube to the side. Put it on your chair. If you want to sit and take a break while we stretch, go ahead and do that. We're going to stretch through the biceps, so bring your palms down. Remember, the biceps are the front of the upper arm. Gently reach the hands backwards and breathe. So when we're doing all this strengthening work, when we're working with resistance, we're making our muscles short and strong. And that wouldn't be very comfortable all the time to have short, strong muscles, so we do the stretches to lengthen them again for a healthy, balanced muscle group. Now let's go ahead and release these arms. Let's stretch through the back of the arms, the one we just did with that bow and arrow. Let's go ahead and bring our right hand to our right shoulder, elbow point straight ahead, left hand to right tricep. We gently guide this arm up. Find where you can hold this stretch, pain-free. I work with a lot of people who keep this elbow low because they've got injuries in the shoulder, or maybe their muscles are so tight they just can't get it up here yet. So I encourage them, just stay where you can stay, hold and breathe. And then I've got others who are able to lift this elbow higher than I am, so find where you are. Let's go ahead and release back down. Same thing, other side, left hand to left shoulder, right hand to left tricep. Again, guiding this arm up and breathing comfortably. So let's get a big inhale. Deep exhale, relaxing through those muscles. One more breath. And exhale, and let's release back down. Whew, shake out those shoulders. All right, let's move into our knee lift. If you're going to stay standing, you need some support, whether it be your chair that you are standing next to, or a wall or a counter, or stay seated right in your chair. So we've got our strong support leg with the soft knee. We're holding on to our support on the side, and we are lifting our spine, always thinking about our posture. Let's inhale. On the exhale, bending the knee, lifting the heel, lifting the foot all the way if you can. Inhale back down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Remember your safety precaution for a hip replacement. If you stay seated, you need to keep your knee below hip level, keeping that thigh pretty attached to the chair. Even if you're standing and you have a hip replacement, still keep your knee lower than hip level. Notice none of us are lifting our knee up higher than hip level. We're just working on the hip flexors, which are really important for a healthy walk, a healthy stride. Walking through the house, walking up the stairs, stepping up a curb, walking from your car into the store. You want to have a nice, healthy stride. You don't want to be doing that shuffle. That's not protecting you from falling. That's actually more dangerous than it seems. Here's your last one. Let's plant this foot. Give your legs and your hips a little shake. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So if you're using a chair, put it on the other side of you. If you're using a wall, turn your back to us. We'll talk you through it. We've got our strong support leg with a bent knee. We're lifted nice and tall. Find that confident posture. Let's inhale. Now exhale, bending the knee, lifting the heel, bring the foot if it'll come along, and lower back down. Exhaling up, inhaling down. And again. And release. Nice, smooth flow. Now this may be easier on the other leg, or maybe this is the easy leg. I hear that a lot too. So maintain what you got. Improve what you can, but do your personal best, whatever it is. You can even add belly to spine to this exercise. So for the last two, give me that belly to spine, because we're lifting something, right? We're lifting our leg. Here's your last one, belly to spine, and release. Excellent work. Shake out those legs and hips. Let's have a seat. Let's finish all this tough work up with a nice gentle stretch. We've worked every muscle in our body in the last 30 minutes. So we've gotten them stronger. They're a little bit tighter. So let's do our stretches to balance it all out. Let's take a big breath. Nice inhale into the belly. And then exhaling deeply, let it go. Let's go ahead and look over our shoulder to the right. I'd like for you to just hold here for a breath. And as you exhale, gently come back to center. Complete your exhale. Let's inhale again. On your exhale, look left. Complete that exhale. Feel all that air release. Another inhale. And exhaling, coming back to center. Now let's gently lower our right ear to our right shoulder. In fact, let's hang our arms long at our sides. Make your shoulders feel heavy. Sometimes people want to bring these shoulders up to the ears when we do this, but I really want you to bring them down, long neck. Let's come up to center. Let's repeat this on the left. So if it feels painful to you, instead of bringing those shoulders up, do less of the stretch. Bring your head up a little bit closer to center. And let's come back up to center. Let's do our postural stretch, our chest stretch. So bring your arms around behind, hold on to your chair or lace your hands behind you. Big inhale to open this chest. A little add-on here. I want you to put a string into the sternum, the chest bone. That string is stuck to the ceiling and it's going to gently lift us up towards the ceiling. So we're doing this very controlled. We're not wrenching our neck backwards. We're just lifting the sternum up. Another big inhale. And now exhale and gently lower the sternum back to where you got it. Release the arms to your sides. Let's do a little spinal rotation. Let's inhale again and lengthen the spine. Get really tall. Now as you exhale, I want you to squeeze your belly tight, and we're going to rotate at the waist to the right. Hands come along our sides. Look over your shoulder, and let's stretch these eyes too. So look all the way, as far as you can, to the right with just your eyes. On your next exhale, I'd like for you to squeeze that belly firm again and gently unwind. Eyes, head, and spine. Oh, I love that stretch. Let's do it to the other side. Inhale again, tall spine. Exhale, squeeze that belly firm. Rotate left at the waist. Look over your shoulder. Look out the corners of your eyes as far as you can. This is so good for driving. You ever need to look over your shoulder when you're driving? Of course you do. So this stretch is so important. Let's inhale again. Now exhale, belly to spine. Let's gently unwind, coming right back to center. Let's come towards the end of our chairs. Hold on to your chair. Extend both heels, legs are long. Now show me the bottoms of your feet by flexing those feet. Feel a stretch through the lower legs, through your calves. Now let's do the opposite. Pressing the soles of the feet towards the floor. They probably won't touch, so don't push them there. Let's breathe. And release. Let's relax the legs. Let's walk the feet in. Let's do one more stretch for the hands and for the wrists, the forearms. If you want, you can add the eyes by looking up as far as you can. Those eyes will get a little bit warm. And that's a healthy thing. It's circulation that you're getting into the muscles around the eyes. Now let's look straight ahead. Blink out the eyes. Rotate the wrists. I thank you so much for joining us. Thank you.